How do you go about leading your mom, your dad, your son, your daughter, your friends who are not even in the same place as truth, and people who think they're able to reason, but according to God, they're not able to? How would you go about leading someone by the hand to Uncle Will's restaurant a couple blocks down? You're going to lead them by the hand, and you're going to take them and show them how to get there, but they refuse to come onto the island. How are you going to get them there? The answer is you can't. If you're going to have, listen, a shared destination, you have to start with a shared place of beginning. If you've ever had a conversation, and I know you have, especially over the last 2 years, over something significant where it's turned into like an argument, and you felt like you're just talking past one another, like, dude, are you even on the same planet as me? How come you're not grasping what I'm saying? Whether it's over, here's a few hot button issues that you've probably argued about in the last few months. Abortion issues and gun rights and gay marriage and vaccines. And do I need to go on? You've probably engaged in at least one discussion about this. And you've probably gone, man, I feel like we're just not even on the same planet here. Almost every time that happens, it's because, listen to me, it's because you have different presuppositions, different source from which you're pulling knowledge out of. If you're going to get someone, you're in a discussion, and you want to lead them to a destination, I want to take you and show you this. You have to begin by saying, what is going to be our source of knowledge that we're going to pull from and say, let's just go back and see what the source says. If you don't have a shared beginning, you are going to end up in two totally different destinations, and you're going to be so frustrated. Why won't they just see? It's because they started at a different starting point than you. Paul is standing in front of these Greek philosophers, and they don't have the same starting point as him. He can't say, in the book of Moses, like he does with the Jews, because they all share that starting point, and it's easy to lead them down to Uncle Will's. They're on the same island. These boys in Greece, they're not even on the same island as Paul as far as truth is concerned. Are you all following me? So Paul, standing in the midst of the Areopagus, said, men of Athens, I perceive that in every way you're very religious. For as I passed along and observed the objects of your worship, I found also an altar with this inscription, to the unknown God. What therefore you worship as unknown, this I proclaim to you. In other words, you say he's unknowable, and I say he's knowable. That's Paul's step one of getting onto the island to lead them to a shared destination, okay? I can show you that this God you think is unknown can be known, okay? It's interesting how he got them to that place. Take some notes. He gets them to that place by developing a little bit of rapport. He says to them, look, I've been walking around your town, and it's very clear to me that you're serious about your religion. Because I can see all these statues to gods, and no one does that unless they're serious about their religion. So Paul's basically saying, look, let's start there. He could imagine being Paul. You all know Paul by now, I hope, right? Imagine being Paul, knowing him, and he walks in and he sees all these idols. He's probably like, I just want to scream, you're all going to hell. This is idolatry, right? That's probably what Paul wanted to. And he exercised some self-control, and he says, listen, I noticed you're very serious about your religion. That's very smart. This is brilliant apologetics. He's developing a little rapport so that they'll give him attention so that he can speak. He says, I notice you're serious about your religion. And then he says, let's focus on one of these statues I saw as I was walking around your beautiful city. I notice you have this one statue that says, to an unknown God. Church, I've been waiting all week for this part. The unknown God. Look on the screen. That's what he said. He saw the inscription. Nope, next. This word unknown, it has the same root word as the word, look on the screen, look what it's going to say, agnosticism. Someone who says, we can't know for sure. whether or not there is a God. That's exactly what these people believed. And let me tell you, they were proud of their agnosticism. How do I know that? Because they built a statue and put an inscription on it. You don't do that if you're ashamed of it. They were proud of their agnosticism because they believed this was actually intellectual. Now, when they heard of the resurrection of the dead, some mocked him. Others said, "We'll hear you again about this." So Paul went out from their midst, but some men joined him and believed, among whom were also Dionysius, the Areopagite, and a woman named Damaris, and others with him. Paul now pointed them to the fullness of God's revelation. You want to see God? You can see him in the face of Jesus Christ. That is the full and final revelation of God to mankind. Look at how his followers, his first followers, wrote about him. John 1, the Word became flesh. The logic became a man and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. And skipping down to verse 18, no one has ever seen God. Reveal yourself to us. Say that. Reveal yourself to us, God. But the unique one, who is himself God, is near to the Father's heart. He has revealed God to us. Christ is God in the flesh. Look what Paul went on to say in Colossians 1. Christ is the visible image of the invisible God. The Greeks, to an unknown God, I can show him to you. He existed before anything was created and is supreme over all creation. Now, where did they get this from? I know, they just made it up so that they could have a new religion. Yeah, that would eventually get them killed. Does that make sense to you? No, they got it from Jesus, who said this to Philip. Jesus speaking, he says, "Have I been with you all this time, Philip? And yet you still don't know who I am? Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father." Jesus is the final, full revelation of God in the flesh. This morning's message, I hope that I've filled your head. Have I filled your head? It's not my goal, though. The goal of apologetics is not to win arguments. The goal of apologetics is to win affections. Are you hearing me? Satan knows way more than I ever will about God and way more than you ever will about God. And he hates what he knows. I don't just want to fill your head. I want to fill your heart with affections for this God who has revealed himself in a way that you can conceptualize. You don't have to look at a stone statue. You don't have to have an image on a TV screen or a movie. You have a living, breathing man, someone who you can say, that I understand. That's what God is like. If you want to know his affections for you, watch Jesus in your Bible. See how he loves, and you'll understand the Father. That's how we conceptualize God. You want a relationship with him? You may have one through the God-man, Jesus. Hey friends, Pastor Luke just wanted to take a quick second to say thank you for watching the video. If you found it to be edifying and encouraging, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. For more videos and sermons like this, or to watch the full-length sermon, you can find it right here on our YouTube channel or by visiting our website, www.hopeoflbi.com.